How's it going? It is Charles Botensten from Botensten Properties International, and we are going to be talking today about board packages and why they are so important. So, number one, our board packages are, let's establish it, are board packages important? Yes. Why are they important? Because you can get denied and not buy in the apartment. Can they deny you? Co-op board packages, yes. Condo, not so much. They have to buy the home at the terms that you have in the contract. So if you're an owner, yes, you still sell. As a buyer, no, you don't buy. But the condo has to offer the first right of refusal. In other words, they have the first right to buy the apartment. If they refuse to buy the apartment, they give you a waiver that says, yes, you can buy. And essentially, I've never been in a situation where the condo is considered it because they need to have the money, or otherwise they have to get the financing. They have to go in to the purchase. I did hear about it 2 times. One is in 2005 when the market was on fire, where they went into contract in March, and in August they were about to close, and the condo's like, actually, we can buy it and then flip it and make money, and they did. And the other was that they bought it for their super. So the super lived in there. It was a big building. They bought it and they gave them a studio. So those are the only 2 examples on the condo side. So we're going to be talking about the co-op. So inevitably, I just had someone apply for a rental in a co-op. And he's like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe they're asking for all this information. I feel like I'm actually buying the place. Do they really need this? And it's like, listen, there's nothing I could say outside of yes, they do need it. They actually need it. Do they actually need it? No, because if you default, it's still on the owner. If the owner defaults, that's why, so there's 2 areas. Let's talk about renting. And obviously, the renter, he wasn't happy that he had to give in tax returns, and then they came back and they said, give us an updated employment, give us an updated credit report, we're going to run it again. Whatever the case is, they just satisfy the co-op. That's literally, I call it a club. Once you're in the club, it's really hard to get kicked out of the club. But once you're in the club, especially on the rental side, all you have to do, if most places, is that you just have to renew your lease and then just give updated information, updated employment information, maybe a credit report, whatever, the following year to renew your lease. Once you're in, you're in. And usually, 95% of the time, co-ops and condos are less expensive than a comparable rental building because it's such a pain to go through the condo process. It's more expensive. There's usually a broker fee on it. So that aside, let's talk about purchasing. This is where the hassle comes in. I had actually a situation where one of my buyers a couple of years ago was the co-op ran the credit a week before. They ran it, I think, twice. They ran it in the beginning, they ran it again. They ran it twice. Right before closing, they found out that an auto pay on an installment payment she has. So an installment payment is different than a revolving payment. A revolving payment means it's a credit card you pay every single month. Money comes in, you pay for it, blah, blah, blah. An installment payment is like a mortgage, a loan on a car, a loan on student loans, where you just have every single month, $1,500, $2,000, $5,000 goes out of your bank account. Every single month you're paying something down. So that's an installment loan. And she had an installment loan on, I think, credit card debt. They said, okay, as long as you give this amount, we'll give you this rate. If you give this amount per month, we'll give you this rate. So that rate was auto set by Bank of America, just being sent out. And one month there was a glitch, and it didn't get sent out. And she was 30 days late. Then I think it was like 45 days late, and that dinged her credit a lot. The co-op ran her credit. It dropped 100-something points, over 100 points, and the co-op's like, what the heck happened? They're like, you were saying you're paying it down, now you're not paying it down. It pushed back the closing. It was a huge hassle. So why are they doing it? They're doing it for that circumstance, is that they feel like they will either get duped, you're not telling the truth, and they don't know you. This is the biggest thing, is they don't know you. I can make a separate video on this, is that I'll actually make a separate video on that. I'll write that down. is that the co-op doesn't know who you are. But I'll briefly talk about it right now, is that when I say they don't really know you, let's just make sure I'm still focused in, and there we go. All right, should be fine. I'm probably blurry. They don't know you. They're just looking at your numbers. They're looking at what you make, what you have in the bank, what your credit score is. So when you tell them this information, or when you give this information, they're looking at just the pieces of paper. They're not actually looking at who you are as a person. So you yourself are getting offended, but they don't know who you are. They don't know that you're a good person, that you volunteer, that you do things that help out society. They don't know that. They're just looking at documents. They don't have a picture of you. They don't have anything but your name. They probably have your age. They do have your age, what you do, where you, and they're just judging on that. So give them what they want, because yes, they can say no. Two is that if they say no, then you're going to be more angry than if you just sat there and complained. Why do they want an updated bank statement? Why do they have to run our credit again? And keep this in mind. Put yourself on the other side. Say you're a shareholder and the co-op doesn't have a good approval process, and every person that applies gets in. You're like, whoa, they defaulted, their credit is terrible, they're back on their maintenance, and then you start having people throughout the building default. That's literally why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want to ensure that you're financially stable. Yes, there's co-ops that look outside of the financial world, but 99% of the co-ops, maybe a little bit less, are looking at you. Can you financially afford this apartment? Is your debt to income ratio perfect? Below, I want to have it around 25%. Some people can go up to 29%, and I've actually put some people through that are 31%. But they put more money down, they had good credit, their income wasn't as solid. So debt to income ratio, I could talk about that in another video. But in short, give the co-op what they want, because they can say no. They can say no, and they want to ensure that you're financially stable. Once you're in the club, you're not going to get kicked out of the club unless you're back on your maintenance, you're a bad shareholder, or you break a rule, a bylaw. So that's the only way. Anyway, it's Charles Botensten for Botensten Properties International. Subscribe to our videos. Follow us on Instagram. That's our favorite social media network. The links are down in the description, just in case. And the subscribe button should also be, it would be right around here, or the other side, one of the sides. Anyway, Charles Botensten for Botensten Properties International. We put out a new video every single weekday. If you have any comments, let us know in the comment section. We shall talk to you guys